Devin Williams lost his position as the Yankees closer. The news, confirmed by Aaron Boone before the doubleheader against the Toronto Blue Jays, marks one of the most tense moments of the season for New York so far. Acquired from the Milwaukee Brewers in December, Williams arrived in the Bronx with high expectations. After years as one of the most dominant closers in Major League Baseball, with an ERA of 1.83 and an impressive strikeout rate of nearly 14.5 strikeouts per 9 innings, he was seen as a key piece to strengthen the Yankees' bullpen in 2025. But the reality has been quite different. If you've been closely following the ups and downs of the Yankees, you already know. Here, every piece of news carries a heavy story. So, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stick with us, because this season promises more twists than ever before. Devin Williams started his journey in New York with skepticism, but what seemed like just an initial adjustment period turned into a nightmare on the field. In his first 10 games of the Pinstripes, he posted an ERA of 11.25, lost 2 games, and blew crucial saves. In 5 save opportunities, he converted only 4, and the impatient fans made their displeasure clear. Williams was booed during his debut, just 18 pitches into his appearance. Aaron Boone, in a press conference, was clear. Williams still has the talent. He still has the arsenal, but he needs time. According to the manager, the focus is on protecting the player. For now, Williams will pitch in lower pressure situations, while Luke Weaver takes over the closer role in the 9th inning. Behind the scenes, the decision is about more than just bad numbers. It's about adaptation, about the way of playing in New York. Boone recalled that even Mariano Rivera, the greatest closer in history, was booed when he struggled with the Yankees in 2003. And the message to Williams is straightforward. He has all the tools to overcome this phase, but he'll need to handle the expectations and intensity of the Bronx. The decline in his numbers is alarming. Williams' famous changeup, nicknamed the Airbender, which held opponents to a .097 average in 2024, is now being hit to a .273 average. His fastball, once nearly untouchable, is now being punished with a .462 average. A brutal contrast that lays bare the crisis he's facing. With Williams temporarily out of the spotlight, the Yankees are trying to reorganize the bullpen while hoping for good news from other areas. Luis Gil has started his throwing program, and the expectation is that he can bolster the rotation by June. Jonathan Loaisiga began his rehab with a perfect inning for Class A Tampa, and DJ LeMahieu is advancing through his rehab games in Somerset. This is a time of quiet rebuilding, of necessary adjustments. And for Devin Williams, it may be his last chance to prove he can be dominant even under the brightest lights of the baseball world. Now I want to know, do you think Devin Williams will bounce back with the Yankees, or are we witnessing the beginning of the end of his career as a dominant closer? Share your thoughts in the comments. Urgent news straight from the Major League Baseball front lines. The New York Yankees and St. Louis Cardinals could be putting together a deal that promises to shake up the league before the trade deadline. And all signs point to pitcher Erick Fedde being the key link between these two historic franchises. In a season where every win counts, the Yankees and Cardinals, two powerhouses accustomed to greatness, find themselves in high-pressure situations. In the Bronx, the need to bolster a rotation battered by injuries has never been more urgent. In St. Louis, the reality is one of reassessment. If the playoff race looks out of reach in the coming weeks, the directive will be clear: maximize assets, trade short-term talent, and prepare for the next generation. A move between these two organizations, in this context, wouldn't just be plausible, it would be inevitable. And if you want to stay ahead of all the details of these secret negotiations before they make headlines on the big platforms, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and join us. Here, you're part of a community that lives the baseball behind the scenes like no one else. Don't miss any updates. The focal point of this discussion is Erick Fedde. Of all the talents the Cardinals could potentially offer, he fits the Yankees' needs the best. While names like Nolan Arenado or Sonny Gray would undoubtedly make bigger headlines, financial reality looms large. After an aggressive offseason, the Yankees are carrying heavy contracts on their payroll and need to act with intelligence. Fedde, with his contract nearing its end, offers something rare in the market: Immediate quality at a price that doesn't suffocate the team's future flexibility. Since returning to the majors with the Chicago White Sox, Fedde has reinvented himself. Once a promising young pitcher who couldn't establish himself in Washington, he's become a consistent arm, posting solid ERAs in the 3.00 to 4.00 range. That stability has continued with the Cardinals. In a scenario where Garrett Cole and Luis Gil are dealing with physical issues and names like Carlos Carrasco and Marcus Stroman are struggling, the addition of Fedde could be the anchor the Yankees need to keep their title hopes alive. But while the trade seems logical on paper, the machinery behind it is complex. The Yankees know they need to strengthen their rotation, but they also know they can't afford to mortgage the future. That's why the discussion centers around prospects. The franchise would likely be willing to send young talent, possibly from their top 30, but without touching the most precious names in their system. The goal is clear: improve the present without jeopardizing the future. On the St. Louis side, the decision is equally delicate. While Fedde has been one of the bright spots of the season, his contractual situation and the team's current standing demand pragmatism. Holding on to the player until the end of the season only to see him walk away in free agency without return would be a strategic mistake. If a good offer comes along, the Cardinals are likely to pull the trigger. And if the deal actually happens, the impact could be profound. Picture this: Fedde in the Bronx, stabilizing the rotation, taking pressure off the bullpen, and increasing the Yankees' chances of asserting themselves in an increasingly brutal American League East. A pitcher who doesn't steal the spotlight, but night after night delivers solid outings, quietly building wins that, by season's end, could be the difference between playing October or watching from home. On the other hand, if the trade doesn't happen, the Yankees risk seeing their rotation crumble even further. Without adequate support, the burden on the lineup grows and the margin for error shrinks. And with opponents like the Orioles and Rays showing consistency, there's no room for hesitation. Visually, imagine Fedde taking the mound at Yankee Stadium on an autumn night. Playoff on the horizon, 40,000 fans standing, each pitch carrying the weight of a dream. A player who may not have the shine of the big stars, but whose impact will be felt in every quiet play, in every well-executed dirty inning. Now I want to hear from you. In your view, should the Yankees bet on Erick Fedde as the key piece of their rotation, or should they risk it all for bigger and more glamorous names like Arenado or Gray? Leave your thoughts in the comments, because your perspective is crucial to this debate. And stay tuned. In the next video, we'll talk about a possible blockbuster trade involving a National League star that could, once and for all, shake up the title hopes of the top contenders. If you love baseball as much as we do, go ahead and subscribe and turn on the notifications, because here the excitement never stops.